Let's start with science. Skeletal system, we started revision. Half of the chapter we have revised. In the previous class, we had studied about some of the part bones of the body. We had studied about skull. Then we had studied about what is a skeletal system about. What is backbone made up of vertebrae, small vertebrae. What is the function of skull? What is the function of backbone? It protects spinal cord. Skull protects our brain. Then we had studied about rib cage. Rib cage protects two delicate parts of organs of our body, that is heart and lungs. And we had studied about the functions of skeletal system. Now today we are going to study about joints. So basically joints are of two types: movable joints and immovable joints. Movable joints are those joints that can move. Okay, like your wrist joint, shoulder joint, ankle joint, knee joint, hip joint, these joints, your neck joint, these joints can move. But some joints are immovable, that cannot be moved, like upper jaw, the face joint. Okay, so now we are going to study. First of all, you should know what is a joint. Where two bones are attached together, those that is known as a joint. Okay, when two bones are joined together at a place, that is known as a joint. All right. So, unlike the framework of building, which is rigid and cannot move, the framework of our body can move. The bones which are joined together are known as a joint. Underline, a joint is a place where two bones meet. Page number 36 under the heading joints. A joint is a place where two bones meet. And how the joint how they are together they are joined. At a joint the bones are held together by ligaments. They are attached with ligaments. Okay, so joints can be movable or immovable. Immovable joints are those joints which cannot be moved, that we know. And now movable joints are of different types. There are four types of movable joints. Movable joints means that can be moved. So first type of movable joint is pivot joint. Yes, where this joint is found, this joint is seen between the first and the second vertebrae, means here at the back. This is the joint. First vertebrae touch from the neck where your backbone is starting. Touch. Can you feel the bone? The joint? Move your neck. Can you feel the joint? Yes. So this joint is known as the pivot joint. It is found between the first and the second vertebrae. This allows your head to move side to side and up and down. Move your head side to side, up and down. Mute your mic and then do. Then, so this type of joint is pivot joint. Then comes the second type of joint, that is ball and socket joint. Ball and socket joints are seen in the shoulder and the hip. Shoulder and the hip. Why? Because if you touch your shoulder, see, it is ball like a thing, socket. Okay, it is a cap like a thing here where your hand is attached. If you touch like from here, it is a cap like thing. And when you touch from here, you will see it is a socket. So that's why it is called ball and socket. It is a round shape. That's why it is called ball and socket. Similarly, the joint which is found at your hip. Hip joint is also ball and socket joint. So ball and socket joint are found in shoulders and hip. They allows movement in a round big direction. You can move your waist also. When you dance, you shake your waist. Yes, when you dance, you shake your waist. And when you may move your hand also round and round. So that's why it is known as ball and socket joint. And where these joints are found, they are found in shoulder and hip. Third type of joint is hinge joint. Now hinge joint is seen between the elbow and knees. Elbow, touch your elbow. This is elbow. Elbow. Move. So hinge joint is seen in elbows and knees in your legs. Hinge joint allow movement only in one direction. You can move your hand, you can bend your hand only in this direction. You cannot bend your hand in the opposite direction. Can you? Can you bend your hand like this? No. It can only be bent towards you. Similarly, legs also. Legs, bend your leg. You can move your leg only in one direction. Can your leg be bent in the opposite direction? ऐसे हो सकता है? No. So hinge joints are found in elbows and knees. They allow movement only in one direction. All right. Then fourth type of joint is gliding joint. This joint is found in wrist and ankle. Ankle is again in the feet where your mothers wear anklets. You know what is ankle and anklets? Anklets is payal in Hindi, if I tell you. So mamas wear payal. That place is known as ankle. So ankle joint is can also be moved round and round. Move your ankle. Move your ankle. It is moving round, and move your wrist also. It is also moving round and round. So which type of joint is here? Gliding joint. Gliding joint. Okay. So there are four types of joint. Four types of joint. First is pivot joint, which is seen here in the first and the second vertebrae, that is starting from the back of your neck. Then second type of joint is ball and socket joint, which is found in your shoulders and hip joint. Third type of joint is hinge joint, which is found in your elbows and knees. It allows movement in one direction. And fourth type of joint is gliding joint, which is found in wrist and ankles, which allow movement in round direction. Okay, all four types of movable joints clear to everybody? All right. Now we are going to study about cartilage. Now cartilage is important as it comes as the definition of cartilage or the function of cartilage. So cartilage is a hard elastic substance that covers the ends of bones at a joint. Now two bones are attached and they are attached with this ligament called cartilage. Okay. This helps two bones to attach with them. Cartilage also gives shape and support to other parts of the body, such as ears and nose. Ears and nose, they are made up of cartilage. It protects the bones by preventing them from rubbing against each other. Now see the diagram, the bone diagram. Can you see the ligament and cartilage and how two bones are attached? The joint diagram is given where ligament and cartilage. These ligament and cartilage helps two bones to join together to stick to each other. Okay. Now comes to muscles. Muscles. When we talk about muscles, there are two major types of muscles, voluntary and involuntary. Voluntary muscles are those muscles which are under our control, which we can control. The movement of voluntary muscles we can control. Manvi, sit straight. We can control the movement of voluntary muscles, like muscles of our hands, muscles of our legs. But few muscles are not under our control. The muscles which are not under our control are known as involuntary muscles. Involuntary muscles are the muscles of our heart, lungs, digestive system. Respiration means breathing. Respiration means breathing. Can you stop your breathing? No. It continues day and night, all the time, 24 hours. Can you stop blinking of eyes? No. Can you stop the digestion which happens in your stomach? No. Can you stop the beating of heart? No. So these are the involuntary muscles, means these muscles we cannot control. But movements of our hand we can control, movements of our legs we can control. So the muscles which we can control are known as voluntary, and muscles which we cannot control are known as involuntary. Let's read. Muscles are more than 600. There are more than 600 muscles in the human body. Muscles along with joints help parts of our body to move. There are attached to tendons. Muscles are involuntary and voluntary. So voluntary muscles whose movements can be controlled are called voluntary muscles. Example, muscles of arms and legs. If an example comes, write two examples of voluntary muscles. What you are going to write? Arms and legs. Similarly, if the example of involuntary muscle comes, what you are going to write? Heart and lungs. Okay, so muscles whose movement cannot be controlled are called involuntary muscles. Example, heart and lungs. Okay, shall I ask question now? First of all, my first question is, what is a joint? Define joint. Joint is a place where two bones. Very good, very good. Joint is a place where two bones meet. Then next, there are two types of joints. What are they? Very good. Movable and immovable. Two types of joints are there, movable and immovable. Now, in movable joints also, there are four kinds of movable joints. First, pivot, ball and socket, hinge joint, gliding joint. Very good. Now, pivot joint is found where? Where we can see pivot joint? Between the first and the second vertebrae. Yes. Where we can see ball and socket joint? Shoulder and hip. Where we can see hinge joint? Hinge joint, elbows and knees. It allows direction, it allows movement in one direction. And where we can see gliding joint? Yes, in the wrist and in the ankle. Okay, now next question. Next question, what is a cartilage? Okay, Kshitij will answer. Kshitij, not together like this. Kshitij, you answer. I don't want reading from the book. No, you all are just reading from the book. I don't want reading. I want how much you have understood. So say in your own words. Kshitij, you answer. That covers the ends of the bones at joint. Okay. Now two types of muscles are there. Two types of muscles, voluntary and involuntary. Huda, what are voluntary muscles? Huda, what are voluntary muscles? Everybody will get a chance. Everybody. Huda, what is voluntary muscle? You know the answer? Shirish, you answer. Shirish, example? Okay, very good. Now, next question. What are involuntary muscles? What are involuntary? Who is this child name with Vandana Singh? Who is this child? Vandana Singh name is coming here. Atharv, will you answer? Yes, answer. Okay, answer. Siddhi, answer. Heart and lungs. Okay. So I hope the chapter is clear to everybody. Now I am going to give you one PDF in which few questions are given. those questions you have to do in where? In revision register. Yes, those questions you have to do in revision register of science. Okay. Yes. So I'm going to give you the PDF right now. You have to do that. So today's work is in maths. You have to do exercises of add, subtract, multiply, and science. Socials, you have to read the lesson. I'm going to give you the PDF. You do the work in revision copy. Thank you.